Netflix. We've all watched at least one series or movie on this platform. And, for better or for worse, Netflix actually has a decent variety of anime. Surprisingly, they got names that I would not expect them to get. Some that come to mind are anime such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, Madoka Magica, Maid-sama. Shit, even One Piece was a surprise to see. Anyway, since everyone uses Netflix, and most people on this channel like anime, I might as well bring up some anime that I like and give out my take on why you should watch them. But that's everything I have to say, so let's just dive into the first series. As I mentioned in the past, I really loved music anime, and honestly this show fits right up there. So what is Carole and Tuesday about? Well, the show starts by expressing that it has been 50 years since mankind has migrated to Mars. And with that, the technological advancements in the world have been greatly expanded that most people live in peace. We then get introduced to Carole, who basically lives day to day working and performs in the streets in the nighttime. We also get introduced to Tuesday, who ran away from her home to live a life that she wants to and pursue music. After their fateful encounter, they both decide to perform together, which leads to a lot of growth and hardship in their life as they grow to become great artists. What made the show really good was how it sets up the struggles that come with trying to be successful musicians. More specifically, they have to overcome these obstacles while making music that has to compete with an AI-dominated industry. Most of the characters fit the typical tropes you would see in the musical world in this day and age. Also, there are a lot of weird characters here and there, but I feel like it brought a lot of fun to the story. And the best part is the music. I swear there were so many songs that were sung where I was like, god damn, why the fuck is this hitting right now? As said by many AniTubers in the past, it's crazy with the amount of music that was made for this show. There was so much variety and genre in the show that it sucks that the show wasn't neater plot-wise. Yes, sadly, I will say the ending kind of fumbled the bag in my opinion, disappointing a lot of people. But I still think it does a solid job even with how it ends. I still enjoyed it and I know you will as well. Yes, I'm biased because as I said, I love music anime, but I think it's still a solid 8 out of 10 series, if not 7.5 out of 10. This young boy has been a spoiled bitch for his entire 4 years of living as an only child, but it quickly changes after his new sister is brought home. This brings forth a journey where he has to adapt to this change of focus. So, with the help of exploring through time and being presented his family from the past, present, and future, he learns valuable lessons for what it takes to be a part of a growing family and as an older brother. This movie is really light in its content and honestly it's really simple to get into. If you're into Ghibli movies then you'll probably enjoy this movie. It gives off the same vibes as a Shinkai Makoto film, which if you don't know he's made movies such as these. But there isn't really anything deep about this movie. It's just about a boy learning how to cope with the new change in his life. But I think it's satisfying enough that most people won't mind it being so simplistic with its storytelling. I felt satisfied after watching this movie, and honestly loved it even if it had a simple take on a story. Anyway, here's my rating.
ねえ、次はどうすればいい？俺が。
Yes, the show's about Gundams, but I can safely say anyone can watch this without needing to binge 30 movies and a bunch of shows. 300 years after the Calamity War, Earth is now ruled by 4 economic blocks, while its peace is kept by the military organization Gjallarhorn. However, Mars is kept up like dog shit and has been in bad condition. So this bee decides that she wants to make a change to this area and make these conditions better. So hiring the CGS, an organization that just got a leadership change. She is tasking them with escorting her to Earth, which if successful in the mission, CGS can forge their destiny and live in better conditions. Anyway, if you want to see a group of people forge their way in this universe that basically consider them not human, then this show is for you. This obviously means the show dives into topics of war and discrimination. So from the start, you begin to root for the underdog group to become successful. I will say that I did not like the second season for different reasons, but I think most people will love this big brain action show. There's not much else I could say without spoiling the content of the show, so I'm just gonna give you my rating. I think the main reason I was interested in the series was that it dives into many retro games that I remember playing as a kid. So I got that big hit of nostalgia that makes me remember all the good and bad times of playing these games. It's the year 1991, which means arcade games are the latest big topic in the world. However, being a professional gamer is too far of a dream during this time since the influence of gaming has yet to settle in. But a 6th grade boy named Haru Yakuchi decides to still walk this path, which has earned him respect in all the local arcades around him and has given him a lot of confidence. This is until he's defeated by one of his classmates named Akira Ono in Street Fighter II. This brings forth a rivalry between two gamers and sets forth growth between two people. Also, there's a sprinkle of other drama like a love triangle, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll keep it to there for the synopsis. Honestly, most of the show's major aspects are pretty generic in terms of how they went about it, but I still think it was pretty good. I love the mixture of comedy, drama, and how it's presented in a retro style, which results in a cool story about the main characters. And as I mentioned, they show a lot of retro games that bring nostalgia to a viewer if they have played those certain games. I was honestly surprised with how many games that were shown in the series. Some that come to mind are Street Fighter, which is probably the main game, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Final Fight. Then the love that they show towards consoles such as Famicom, Sega Saturn, PlayStation. Man, there's just so many elements that I loved about this show. Anyway, if what I said interests you, then I know you'll be into the show, even if there's a couple flaws here and there. I've actually talked about this show in a video before, but I feel like I didn't do justice for how good this show actually is. Yes, it looks weird, but that's kind of one of the reasons why it's so great. The show dives into the place called The Hole, where non-magic users live, but magic users tend to come to the hole where they test their magic on people. This is where we're introduced to the reptile-headed protagonist named Kaiman and his friend Nikaido. They are in search of how to change Kaiman back to his original self and recover his memories. What makes the show so good is the world. I swear, it was so unpredictable at certain points because there's not really a grounded explanation or reason for certain things. This is why we'll see weird magic, weird creatures, and a roach. Then a lot of the characters are unique and cool to see, which adds so much enjoyment since they're funny. As someone who finds comedy anime hard to get into, this show actually made me genuinely laugh at different points. It will be the most random moments where the show decides to put something there that's funny. The plot is kind of slow, but I feel like you have to keep going because you will get hooked. So if you want to watch a unique story that will make you laugh your ass off, then this show is for you.
先日ダウンタウンで煙屋の店主が何者かに殺された。
Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope the change towards unscripted content didn't hurt the video. It's easier to make these type of videos while I work on other content since I'm not thinking as much. Anyway, I hope you give these shows a shot, because I promise you they'll be worth it even if they have certain flaws. And yes, I know they aren't perfect and many won't, but hey, it's still worth the binge in my opinion. I could bring up a lot of shows that are on Netflix, but for the sake of time and interest, I'm gonna keep it to there. Anyway, if you don't mind, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. It gives me good feedback on my videos and makes me feel good inside. Also, leave a comment below on your thoughts on these shows if you liked them or not. If you want me to keep going with this, the feedback helps a lot since I can already name 5 other shows on the platform that people might love. Anyway, that's all I have to say, so I'm just gonna clock out.